was a weird kid. Like a lot of you guys. Don't pretend like you were a pure kid. We were all strange and cringy. I decided I'd make a video dedicated to all the weird little things I did as a kid. I was pretty odd and I did a lot of strange things. It's a wonder how I had any friends in elementary school. Let's start off on a low note. I used to never brush my hair. Literally. Almost never. Wake up early, try to brush all the knots out of my ratty hair, or sleep an extra 30 minutes. I pick sleep every time. And I'd show up to school with a rat's nest for hair. One time, my friend even asked my mom to make me brush my hair. Never would, though. I didn't care about the whole looking pretty, wearing makeup, and wearing stylish clothes. You can kind of tell. The next thing, also involving school, I've mentioned before, but I ran a warrior Catco group. It was a group of young girls. We basically just grouped together and pretend to be warrior cats. I would play Firestar, my friend Heather would play Jayfeather, and so on and so forth. We made dens out of the bushes in the back of the playground on the huge field. I remember we used to crush up grass and herbs with 2 rocks and make medicine wraps. One of the warrior books was like a cheat book thing. It had all the ingredients of the medicine wraps the cats would use in the fictional stories. Me and my friends had no idea what comfrey was, but we managed. I was always the leader. Firestar, the orange cat guy, who's the main character, who died in a really crappy way, but I won't stay because spoilers. If you're young, 11 to 15, I suggest reading this series. It's not a high-level read, but it's a good one nonetheless. The third thing I used to do, I used to dress up like a dog and chase my dog around the backyard. Now, hear me out here. I was about 8. I had a Dalmatian costume I wore for Halloween one year, and I liked to dress up like a dog and run around on all 4s after my dog and bark at him. Once again, I was an 8-year-old girl and not a furry. It was harmless fun. My dog was just convinced that I was mentally unstable. The last thing for this video, there's plenty more, I used to play around with the neighborhood kids on the street and around our houses. We used to play tag and Friday the 13th until late at night. In our neighborhood, we had a patch of forest that led to the back of a church. The kids and I would play in the patch of woods. We actually set up a camp. It had a tree I used to climb and sit on. I was always the leader, and I surveyed the construction of the camp, without helping. We made beds and collected wood to make a fire pit. We constructed little houses out of moss and pine needles, and I had a very vivid memory of sitting on the tree in the drizzling rain. One day, my sister, her friend, and I were in the woods, messing around like usual. To be honest, I'm not sure why my mother let 3 12-year-old girls into the woods by themselves, but whatever. We walked the path to the back of these houses, and I remember we snuck around the edge of the fence and saw a guy. The dude was pretty large. He made eye contact, and me and my friends booked it. We ran as fast as we could. My sister sprinted out of the woods to our house, while I took our friend and ducked into our camp. The dude ran after us, and I remember seeing him run past. My sister's friend and I hunkered in the bushes and waited for him to leave. When I think back on it, I don't know what the guy would have done if he'd caught us, but as a 12-year-old, I didn't really think about long-term consequences. Maybe the guy was chasing us out of worry. Maybe he had other motives. No matter, we escaped, and we weren't even afraid. Because of how much we played and ran around, I was a speedy little thing. I ran and leapt like I was a wild animal. My inner Firestar was with me that day. All the time practicing on the playground had not been in vain. I was trained for this. I was weird, but hey, at least my childhood was never boring. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.